Good morning and thanks for joining us here on the Fox 25 News at 11. I'm Dan Snyder. Let's take a look at what's happening right now. We are keeping a very close eye on the Cimarron River in Guthrie. You can see it's already worked its way onto Highway 77 there. Sharday Gregg is going to be live with an update in just a few minutes. Live look at the New York Stock Exchange big board right now. Stocks continue to tumble. We're just about 12 hours out now from President Trump's new tariffs going in on China. Speaking of the president, he's going to speak at the White House in just a few minutes. This as the White House and Congress continue their battle. And your live look outside, cloudy and gray so far today. Chip, we don't have a severe threat today, so that's good, but still a couple of showers lurking around the state. 11:24 right now. Welcome back to the Fox 25 News at 11. We have breaking news. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi has now publicly accused Attorney General William Barr of lying to Congress. Take a listen to her statement just about 40 minutes ago.
FBI, open the door.
A look there as the FBI arrests former Trump campaign advisor Roger Stone at his Fort Lauderdale home. Good morning. I'm Dan Snyder. We start you off with this developing news this morning. Stone was indicted by special counsel Robert Mueller's office and is now facing counts of obstruction, witness tampering, and making false statements. The indictment alleges Stone misled lawmakers about his efforts to work with WikiLeaks on the release of stolen emails from Hillary Clinton's campaign. So I got to ask you directly, Congresswoman, if Democrats get what they want, the government open, and then those immigration talks, would a border barrier be on the table for you? The state's budget for next year will include a hefty surplus. The Board of Equalization announced yesterday the state will have about $574 million in extra money. And we've got your back with how the governor says it'll all break down. Take a look, around $200 million. That's going to go right into savings. $237 million will have to pay for other obligations. Just into the live desk right now, an incredible video you have to see. Let's go live near Tampa, Florida. This is a massive sinkhole that has opened up. This is Land O'Lakes, Florida. You can see there is a house that has been sucked in there. And as Chip just mentioned, those storms just rolling through the metro going to continue throughout the day. We could see large hail damaging winds, possibly even tornadoes. Right now, Fox 25 Sharday Gray live in our traffic tracker. She's checking out the roads. Sharday, where are you? What do you see out there? And of course, coming up tonight, there's an event fans can really get involved in Edmond.
That's right. So, you know, we have the mid-first bank shot contest at every game, which we try to give away $20,000. Well,
shock and heartbreak in Paris this morning as officials try to gauge the full scope of the damage left behind by a fire at one of the world's most iconic buildings, the Notre Dame Cathedral. Breathtaking video showing flames bursting through the roof of the nearly 900-year-old church, eventually collapsing the building's steeple and much of its roof. What do you make of the numbers that the president had presented? He's calling this a crisis, but the numbers of crossings at the border are significantly down from, say, just 2000 when President Bush took over. There was no crisis declared then. How can you say there's a crisis now? We have breaking news right now. Extensive flooding at a parking garage at Dallas's Love Field Airport. We're live on that scene right now. Let's take you to it. Look how deep the water is. Those are cars in the back. That water all the way up to the roofs of some cars. As you come forward just a little bit, it goes up to the windows, but really, really deep floodwaters there. Good morning and thanks for joining us on the Fox 25 News at 11. We have a storm watch alert day here at Fox 25. That means a pretty significant chance of severe weather in our forecast today. Storm watch meteorologist Marcy Novak in to break all that down for us. Marcy, when can we start seeing some of those storms? Back in with Marcy in just about 10 minutes. Right now, we have continuing coverage this morning of the damage and cleanup efforts in southwest Oklahoma. This after a tornado touched down outside the towns of Hobart and Rocky overnight. Fox 25's Wayne Stafford has been there all morning long. Wayne, we've been seeing images of this barn. This is just a disaster area for them. New details and some new video this morning that gives us a better look at the three people who broke into the Wilshire Gun Club. Take a look at this here. These three people smashed through the glass door at the business early Tuesday morning. Good morning and welcome to the Election Day edition of the Fox 25 News at 11. I'm Dan Snyder. Let's take you to a live look out at the Oklahoma State Capitol. Election Day in full swing here across the nation as well as here in Oklahoma. And take a look at that sky behind you. No weather worries about getting out to the polls today. Isn't that right, Chip? I want to start with trade. We're expecting those tariffs to go in on China tomorrow. We're expecting a retaliation. Should we be concerned that we're spiraling toward a trade war?
We should.
A car chase in Los Angeles has officially come to an end after the suspect dives out of the moving car. Let's go live back to that scene right now. There's the minivan believed to be stolen by police that prompted this chase. And about a block and a half down the street, the suspect is lying in the middle of the road. Police now have him handcuffed. This is downtown Los Angeles. He got off the freeway and got in with all the skyscrapers.
From the Fox 25 studios in Oklahoma City, this is the Fox 25 News at 11.
Good morning and thanks for joining us here on the Fox 25 News at 11. I'm Dan Snyder. Let's take a look at what's happening right now. We are keeping a very close eye on the Cimarron River in Guthrie. You can see it's already worked its way onto Highway 77 there. Sharday Gregg is going to be live with an update in just a few minutes. Live look at the New York Stock Exchange big board right now. Stocks continue to tumble. We're just about 12 hours out now from President Trump's new tariffs going in on China. Speaking of the president, he's going to speak at the White House in just a few minutes. This as the White House and Congress continue their battle. And your live look outside, cloudy and gray so far today. Chip, we don't have a severe threat today, so that's good, but still a couple of showers lurking around the state.
Yeah, sprinkles, really. That's what we're dealing with right now.
We'll be watching for updates right here at the live desk.
Really a tough week on Wall Street. Thanks, Emily. ODOT crews keeping a very close eye on the Cimarron River as those high waters threaten Highway 77. The National Weather Service says they expected the river to crest at about 22 feet. Now, Fox 25 Sharday Gray live at the river right now. Sharday, you've been out there all morning. Looks like that river inching closer and closer to the road.
That's right, Dan. We've been out here since 5 o'clock this morning. It does crest at 19 feet. Back to you, Dan.
All right, thanks, Sharday. On top of it this morning, 14 more counties now under a state of emergency following Tuesday night's violent storms. Governor Kevin Stitt issuing that executive order yesterday, adding to the already 52 counties on the list from severe storms at the end of April. Under the executive order, state agencies can make emergency purchases and expedite the delivery of resources to local jurisdictions. Now, flooding continues to be an issue around parts of the metro this morning, including in Yukon. Take a look at this. Just about 3 hours ago, Yukon fire crews had to rescue a driver who got stuck in some high water. This is on Banner Road, just north of Route 66. Firefighters had to throw the man a raft to bring him to safety. The police department was on scene closing off that road. However, closing off flooded roads hasn't stopped drivers in Yukon so far. Listen to this. In just an hour and a half yesterday afternoon, officers stopped 19 cars going around a barricade near Northwest 11th between Wilshire and Foreman. We caught one of those drivers on camera. You can see that red truck made it right through the high water, only to get pulled over. Those who go around barricades may get off with a warning from police, or you might get handed a citation.
The danger is you can't see what's underneath the water. I mean, you don't know if the road's washed away. It's hard to tell. And then the other danger is not only are you putting yourself in danger if you choose to drive through the water, but you're putting anybody else in danger who chooses to come try and rescue you as well.
Well, Major Fairchild says they expect this water to rise before it eventually goes down, so no telling when this stretch of North 11th Street will be back open. And we've got your back this morning. If you live in West Oklahoma City, you might have noticed some dirty yellow-colored water coming from your faucet. A large water main was breached on Tuesday. Now, Fox 25's Wayne Stafford is here with us right now. And Wayne, one of the questions I had, it appears city officials are saying this water's actually okay?
It is okay. I know when you might see the pictures, you might not still want to drink it, but they are saying that it is safe to drink. We have a couple of photos for you. Give them a call at that number, and they'll try and help you out. Dan?
Boy, those are interesting images. Thanks, Wayne. A suspect on the run right now after a 5-year-old child is shot. Oklahoma City police say an argument between a husband and wife led to a 5-year-old girl getting shot in the arm while in a car. This happened around 9 last night near Southeast 22nd and Walnut. Investigators say a person was trying to break up that fight when the shots were fired. Police have not released a description of that suspect. Good news, though, that little girl is expected to be okay. And another shooting suspect on the run this morning after a man is shot in the leg. This shooting happened just after 9 near Southwest 33rd and Robinson. Police say 2 men got into an argument when shots were fired. That victim was able to drive himself to the hospital. 11:09 on to political news this morning. President Trump is firing right back at Congress after a vote to hold his attorney general in contempt. And now his son could be the next person facing a congressional subpoena. Doug Luzader has more from the Capitol this morning on the ongoing battle.
From the Fox 25 studios in Oklahoma City, this is the Fox 25 News at 11.
Good morning and thanks for joining us here on the Fox 25 News at 11. I'm Dan Snyder. Let's take a look at what's happening right now. A live look outside an emergency meeting of the Oklahoma County Commissioners. This as the air conditioning goes out at the county jail. Sade Gray is going to have a live report coming up in just a little bit. We're live at the White House right now. President Trump and the First Lady taking part in the National Day of Prayer. We'll hear from an Oklahoma lawmaker who spoke about that on the Senate floor this morning. And a live look at the Capitol as it's full-blown Democrats versus Attorney General Bill Barr. More on that in just a little bit, but here's your first look outside right now. Little cloudy out there. Chip, our first day in 3 days without a storm watch alert day. Doesn't mean we still can't see some precipitation out there, though.
Yeah, the chances are pretty low today. They'll be going up again coming up in a few minutes.
All right, thanks, Chip. Happening right now, county commissioners are trying to figure out how to resolve the heating and cooling issues at the Oklahoma County Jail. It's an issue commissioners say they've been aware of since March. Fox 25 Sade Gray live outside the county courthouse right now. Sade, have those commissioners made any decisions so far?
Well, good morning, Dan. Right now, they are still talking about that right now. You can see they've closed the door. Newscast in our 5 o'clock newscast. Back to you, Dan.
Yeah, stay with us on air and online. Thanks, Sade. A man recovering in the hospital this morning after accidentally shooting himself in the face. Oklahoma City police say it happened just before midnight near Northwest 19th and Youngs Boulevard. Police say the man was playing with the gun and showing it off to friends when that gun went off. That man is expected to recover. The family of a 17-year-old shot and killed by Edmond police want answers this morning. Police responded to a domestic assault call on Monday when they saw Isaiah Lewis naked and running away. Officers say he broke into a home and they used tasers on him with no effect. That's when they reportedly shot Lewis several times, killing him.
Isaiah was a quiet kid. He was a very smart kid. He was a very likable kid. We want answers. We want the truth. Everybody deserves to know what happened, and they don't get to assassinate my son's character.
Right now, it's unclear how many times Lewis was shot. The two officers involved are on administrative leave. The police department says they were not wearing body cameras. 11:05 right now. One person is behind bars after leading police on a chase that ended with a car in flames. Oklahoma City police say the chase started last night near Lake Hefner Parkway and Memorial Road. This after officers say they saw a person throw what looked like drugs out of the car. Speeds reached up to about 90 miles an hour. Stop sticks were used to end the pursuit near Lake Hefner Parkway and Northwest 122nd. The vehicle caught fire briefly, and that suspect was arrested. This morning, a woman is in serious condition after a shooting yesterday. Police say the shooting happened around 7 inside a home near Southeast 44th and Eastern. Officers had to chase multiple suspects through this neighborhood and have at least some of them in custody. Police are now investigating what led up to that shooting and if they're still looking for additional suspects. All right, 11:06 right now. Happening this week, the American Red Cross is kicking off their Sound the Alarm campaign, all in an effort to prevent home fires. Volunteers and their partners will be installing free smoke detectors in homes across the metro. Fox 25's Wayne Stafford live downtown with a supply truck just came in. Wayne, lots of smoke alarms there. How many are we talking?
Hey, good morning, Dan. We're talking about 100,000 free smoke alarms to Saturday. Dan?
All right, thanks, Wayne. Taking a look at your political news this morning. As expected, Attorney General Bill Barr snubbed the House Judiciary Committee, refusing to show up and testify on the Mueller report. Committee Chairman Jerry Nadler convened the hearing to an empty chair about 2 hours ago. Barr told the committee he would not attend yesterday because Democrats demanded staff attorneys be allowed to ask questions. The DOJ called the plan inappropriate. In his statement, Nadler warned the Attorney General against fighting the committee.
But I am certain that there is no way forward for this country that does not include a reckoning with this clear and present danger to our constitutional order. History will judge us for how we face this challenge. We will all be held accountable in one way or the other. And if he does not provide this committee with the information it demands and the respect it deserves, Mr. Barr's moment of accountability will come soon enough.
Nadler did threaten to hold Barr in contempt of Congress if he didn't, quote, negotiate in good faith. But furious Republicans on the committee point the finger back at Democrats. Ranking Republican Doug Collins called out Nadler specifically and called the Judiciary panel a circus.
We could have had a hearing today. What bothers me the most about this is not only did in standing for the questions that were discussed and the issues that have been discussed between me and the chairman, not only did he take the ability for the American people to hear again from Bill Barr, he took our ability to hear from Bill Barr today.
Well, a growing number of Democrats, including presidential candidates Kamala Harris and Joe Biden, have called on Barr to resign. Nadler said yesterday the committee was looking at having special counsel Robert Mueller testify on May 15th. 11:10 today marks the annual National Day of Prayer in the U.S. The day is observed every year on the first Thursday in May and encourages all Americans of all faiths to pray and reflect. Oklahoma Senator James Lankford spoke on the Senate floor this morning, saying the day is especially important this year as we see an uptick in attacks on people of all faiths worldwide.
As we watch the attacks on synagogues in our country, as we watch bombings of Christians in Sri Lanka, gun battles that have erupted in churches in the United States, mosques that have been attacked, people of faith being targeted simply because of their faith.
Well, it was President Harry Truman that established the day back in 1952. As you saw at the top of the show, President Trump and the First Lady attended that prayer service at the White House this morning. All right, new this morning, the race for the 2020 Democratic presidential nomination continues to grow. The latest candidate, Senator Michael Bennet of Colorado. Bennet made his candidacy official a few hours ago during an interview on CBS This Morning. His announcement was delayed after Bennet was diagnosed with prostate cancer last month. He says his doctors have since given him a clean bill of health. Bennet has represented Colorado in the Senate since 2009. Before that, he served as the superintendent for Denver Public Schools and as chief of staff for then Denver Mayor John Hickenlooper, who's also seeking the Democratic nomination. 22 candidates are now seeking the Democratic nod in 2020.